Hello, I'm Winsome Manning, Kaylee's mom. I'd like to take this opportunity to just familiarize myself with everybody and let everybody get to know a little about me as we go along. I was adopted as a child, about 4 years old. Don't know my biological father up to this day. Well, he died when I was in my 30s, and I heard that he died. But I wouldn't trade my life, especially the lady who grew me, my adopted mother. She's a mother I know. I did know my biological mother, but she was not a mother to me. So I wouldn't trade her for anybody else. And I think the person that I am now have everything to do with her. She taught me, but she was strict, loved to beat. But I think if I was her child, she would have done the very same thing. That was her way of putting me on the right path. I strongly believe that. She didn't have any children of her own, and I was the only stranger she adopted. There was Anne Marie, her niece. She had a nephew. She was her sister's child before me. He's a year older than me. Cousins and her husband had two daughters. One came in late, but one is 1 year older than me, and she was at the house. So I grew up part time with her also. Sharon. Okay. Mommy, as I call her, she could not read. Her name was Eva, and she could not spell, which is 3 letters, and she could not spell it. If she had, Daddy used to travel farm work. And when he went away and he sent money, like the money order, I would go to the bank with her and she mark a X. That was what she could do. She mark a X. I would have to sign her name for her. She could not sign her name, Eva Jarrett. But let me tell you, that woman would run a house. She was a, what they call the people that buy and sell back in the day. She traveled to Panama, Curacao, and she bought and she sell things in the market. She ran a partner. I ran daily partner, big daily partner. She had several hands. Everybody had several hands. So I learned to do business from her. I wrote down everybody's name that was in the partner. She tell me how much she collect each day. And I write it down, so I was hands-on in the business with her. I had to do all the accounts. Is a lady that lived by her horoscope also. Every morning I had to listen Starscope and RJR. When 6:30, I had to be present because after she listened, I had to tell her what it means. Sometimes I don't even know what it means. So I would just tell her the best thing, the best way I know how to explain it. She not leaving the house unless she go into town, because sometimes she used to go town to buy stuff for the stall also, like on a Thursday or a Monday. And she would leave like 5 in the morning because she coming from Clarendon. So on those days, she wouldn't listen or horoscope, but any other day, she not leaving out of the house until she hear what the stars hold for her. That woman teach me Your own is your own. Your own is your own. Money is important. Having your own money, no matter how small it is. If you have a man and him giving you money, no matter how much money he might give you, make sure you have your little 2 cents. That is yours. Don't let anybody control you. Late in life, I came upon somebody who tried to control me, but all along I was the breadwinner for myself. I always been a go-getter. I get everything from her. Later in life, I came to experience abuse. As I go along, I'll tell you my story. I hope this will motivate others, especially females. So, there's so many things to talk. There's so much to talk about. Alright, back to mommy. Alright, how she ended up with me now. My mother had a cousin that sell in Maypen Market. Never met the lady until this day. And my mother heard that this lady needed a little girl, and she took me and my sister to the lady's house. And my big sister taught me a poem, What a Joyful News, Miss Matthew. When I was 4 years old, I knew that poem. Feel like my heart going to burst to make a people. Because I grew up saying it in the church. They used to put me on a chair because I was so small. The people in the back wouldn't see me, so they used to put me on a chair. And I say it and I would spin around and say, ay, ay, ay. You know? So every time there was a concert at the church, I would say it. I would recite that poem. So when my mother took me and my sister, she gave us something to eat. And I used to say, thank you very much, please. Love food. Love food, yeah. And when she gave us something to eat, I said, thank you very much, please. I don't think my sister said anything. She was a year and some months younger than me. And I told her that I know the poem, and I said the poem for her, and she said, I don't want him want. I guess that was the reason why she chose me. And I saw some toys there, and I asked her, whose toys? Who for chuck this? Who for, you know? I love to ask questions. And she said, is her son owned, which was her nephew. He wasn't there at the time. And I guess she and my mother talk about when she was to take me, and then my mother took me back, probably get my clothes and, you know, all of that, and took me back. And I lived with her ever since. It was a rocky road. There was a days when I wanted to run away. And you know, you will wonder what happened, why your mother gave you away. If she never want you, stuff like that did, you know, go through my head. But I came to appreciate this woman, this strong woman, Eva Jarrett. I will tell you about Daddy too on a later date. But today it's about her. Going to school was another issue. My mother did not give her a birth certificate. I went to school my entire life without a birth certificate. She kept asking my mother, where is our birth certificate? Mother keep telling her I should bring it home. Probably I wasn't even registered. And there she went to the church I went to. There was a basic school there, so I was sent to that basic school. Old Road Basic School without a birth certificate, of course. And I was at that basic school. When I reached 6 and she wanted to send me to Maypen Primary, Maypen Primary would not take me without a birth certificate. I was at the basic school until I turned 7. Then 8, there was still no birth certificate coming. 9, and I tell you I was a foodie, I was big, I was fat. And I'm there. Just I think they stopped teaching me because at 9 I could not read. There was a graveyard for the church, and the school was on the church compound, so I would be in the churchyard every day playing by myself, jumping from grave to grave and just entertaining myself while class was going on. They were just basically accommodating me until mommy find place a school for me. There was a family next door to her, and they had a teacher in the family at another school, way some miles away. That was Chanda's Pen, all age, Chateau. And she asked if they could ask, she asked them if they could ask her, which is the teacher, to speak to the principal if he would accept me without a birth certificate. And they spoke and the principal agreed to take me until, they look up a birth certificate, which did not happen anyhow. But I went there at 9 years old. I was too big for grade 1. So I was given this book. My name is Roy, my name is Pat. I am a boy, I am a girl, to read. I could not read it. So they say, well, they will put me in grade 1. So I was in grade 1, 9 years old. Love ramp. I was playing one day, and this group of girls were looking at me, and I hear one of them say, "See that big girl there? A grade 1 in, a country, so a grade 1 in dunks." And something resonated in me, and I'm like, oh, they are talking about me. When so many need to do something about this, So I decided to buckle down, and I start every chance I get. I try to break down how to pronounce it as even cat. I couldn't spell cat. And eventually I catch on and started to read until I catch up by grade 5. No, by grade I catch up with my age group eventually. In a year and a half, yeah, 2 years, I catch up with my age group and started to do very well. When time come for common entrance, I could not take common entrance. Birth certificate problem again. And still, my mother tell her she bring in the birth certificate, and still it did not happen. I literally saw my teacher cry. She cried when she realized I will not be able to sit common entrance, because she knew I would pass that common entrance flying. I did not take common entrance. At 13, she decided to try and get me into Maypen Secondary, because that would be closer to her anyhow. And Chandler spent up at grade 9, so she was still trying to get me. at a senior school basically. I went, they took me at Maple Secondary without the birth certificate. And I did grade 7 test. I did a grade 7 test and I passed the grade 7 test, and they told me that I am to go to 7-1. And when I went to 7-1 class doorway and stand up and look on the board, those maths that I saw on the board, I've been through them already. So I moved from 7-1 and I went to 8-1 and stood. And I saw the farm teacher was there, and she asked me, when I look on the board, I saw things, that would challenge me. I love a challenge. And she asked me, what is it? And I tell her I'm supposed to come in this class. And she asked me what is my name, and she bring me to class. So I grew up, I've always was 1 year younger than everybody. A little bit, some months younger, I guess. And I stayed in grade 8, and I went to that school until I graduated. I have lost contact with everybody. I hope we have all grown, but I hope this can help me to get back in touch with a lot of the persons I went to school with. Denise Corey especially. And but this is as I'm saying, mommy know, when going to school there was a lot of fights, and the first time she heard about it, I was always in fights. People always speak on me, and they love to fight, and they had their family and they gang up and whatever, and I was always in fights. So mommy heard about a fight one day, and she said to me, I think my uniform will tear out, and yeah, what happened to you? Well, she always, she would be at the market every day, but if my uniform tear up, she will see it. And I tell her I was in a fight, and I think somebody stabbed me with a pencil, and she says, so that may I feed you for? If you go to school for them beat you, say any day you come back here. Any day you come back here and tell me say somebody beat you, you don't get no more food. And me love my food. So me start fight for my food. Me tell myself, say, me can't afford for mommy to give me enough food. So when me I fight for my food, me I think about it. So whatever I have to win at all costs, because I believe her that she wouldn't give me any food. Which I guess she tell me that for me to stand up on my own, defend myself, but I believe her. She as I said, there's the ups and the downs with her. She would give us our pocket money Christmas time. Holiday. I mean, you go when I was going to Maple Secondary, there was 2 shifts, morning shift, evening shift. If I'm on the evening shift, when she gone to town, Monday and Thursday I would go and I would put out the stall, hang up the clothes on the stick, and they would tie it down with chapal, and I would pull it on canvas. I would pull off things and pack out the stall and sell until she come back. She would give you a little, extra, different from your school, your lunch money, you give you a little extra for your, effort. Is like you're working and she paying you. Stuff like that. So, I always have my money. I always have my, pocket money for do whatever. And I guess she try to do that too, for you not to take anything from anybody. Food, never run out of food. Food was always there. Food was always in the house. Daddy raised cow, chicken, goat, pigs. We all help. Me used to wash out dog pen. No, but I believe you are a girl. Yes, me used to wash the dog pen. Feed the chicken them. When chicken are killed, me never kill them, but unless I cook one chicken for dinner. But when daddy kill them, we help pluck. When daddy kill pig and introduce it to the marrow, take out the marrow and we teach you how to fry it up with pepper and onion. Yes. Never like the killing of the cow, we have to use this long knife and but that was a way of bringing income. So daddy was a farmer, reared animals. When he was even when he was not here, the business went on same way. He spent 6 months in America and 6 months here. He went to Apple, went and pick apple, and then he left from there and go and cut cane. And he would send a little pocket money also. And I am the one who wrote all the letters. There was no phone. I wrote all the letters. Mama tell me what to write and I put in what I want to put in also. Because she would tell me, the children give in trouble. I am the one writing the letter. I'm not going to put that in there. I won't be putting that in no letter. The children give in trouble. And I am a part of the children that give in trouble now. And then when we finish writing the letter, she said me to read it. I'm read it. And we read, so the children put in trouble. Anything what you tell me, I'm not put it, I see to read it. So it, I have to learn how to use my brain to get out of situations also. So that's why even now I tell my daughter, anything where you try, I've been there, I've done that. But today I salute Eva Jarrett, that woman. I'd like to salute her. She always says, I can't read, but I send her to school so I can learn to sign on the name. I can learn when I feed to the name Pambula. Well, she never talk about, a higher form of education per se, but she did send us to school, everybody, every day, rain, shine. You had to do your chores before you go to school. You have to carry water and full the drum. If you even full it, you have to put in some water, and then when you come back, you finish. You have to make sure the pig them are feeding. Chicken have water. Tie out goats. When you come back, you give the goat water. Carry them in. Then was not like now. In the 80s was not like now where children don't have chores anymore. Yes, and it was a joy to us. Well, sometimes you want to sleep in late, but you have stuff to do, you have to get up. Daddy was strict, but he was very jovial. Daddy. Mommy even call him daddy, everybody call him daddy, including her. And he would eat and everybody we had to set the table, everybody eat at the table, had conversations. You know, so whatever happened, well, most of the Sunday when mommy is there, whatever happened during the week, because every day she gone to the market. So Monday to Saturday. So on a Sunday, everything would come out like one day, because the house was not completed when I just went there. You know, they were adding on over time. So we'd go in the ceiling, walk in the passage, and go up in the ceiling. The passage was not yet sealed, and we'd carry dirt and tins, go up there, go play Dolly House. We sit down on the part that we can, the board, the strong boards. And one day, somebody foot accidentally kick out the Solitex. So we fix it back, glue it up. I was the smaller one there. And the bigger ones fix it up and get that paint and paint it back, and it was obvious, but you have to notice. Some of me did not see it until a Sunday, and I was sworn to secrecy. I don't know anything about it, but I was afraid of her. And when mama see the Sunday and call everybody said in the morning, win some. Win some? Who tear out the sea with the Solitex? So mommy a Calvin. Calvin was shocked because I swear and tell them, not tell mommy. Because when she beat you, baby, nothing normal. Nothing normal. I did not want to get any beaten. Well, everybody did get beaten. The sauce up tree used to be some big sauce up you see in the yard. Mommy used that sauce up, mommy take limb off of that sauce up tree and beat me until that sauce up tree died. Yes, because every time she beat me, she just pop down a limb. She just pop off a limb. Shell it out. When I was 17, when I was about to graduate, I said, she was beating me. I don't remember for what, no. I said, mommy, but you think that time you stop beating me now? No, graduate now. You know? She said, oh, so you're a big woman now. You're a big woman now. A big like you forget. And she fling on the piece so she did have a break off a big alley. That is not really the way to go, but that was her way. That was her way of instilling discipline. And that drove fear. It did drive fear. But I think, as I said before, if she had a child of her own, that is how she would discipline that child. That was her way. We had our ups and our downs, days when as I say, I wanted to run away. And she'd tell me, go on to your mother. There was no mother. I didn't know a mother. Occasionally, yes, she would come by, but the longest time I spent with my mother was when I was 18 years old. I went to, alright, Mom would send us to Denby showground every August. Alright, well, by this time now Laverne was living with us. Laverne was Daddy's niece. Her mother and her was in a car accident and her mom died. She was living in St. Anne and her mom died, and she was 18 or almost 18 at the time, and she came to live with us. And Laverne was a Christian at the time. and Laverne and I. She took Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie was a baby, and everywhere she went, she took Anne-Marie. So she went on a trip, a church trip to the beach, and so we forgot them. So I tell Laverne, some money. I love movie. Then we go show later. People in Canada remember Capri Theatre. Capri is now a plaza. And we went to the movies. So you go show and I go left early. So we did not leave until probably 6 o'clock. When she came back, probably by 7, she heard that we just left. And we went, when we come, we did not watch it. Then it was 3 show. We never watched a 3 show. Watch 2. And when the third one start, we say, alright, we're going to leave. But where we live, the Rum Lane, then in the night, you can't get vehicle for go Rum Lane. You have to come off of Palmer's Cross and walk around. So there was Hazard United at the time, playing against Palmer's Cross. It was a holiday, Independence Day. Out by Hazard. So, and they keeping dance, and so when we come off of the taxi out there, so we see some the neighbors, they were out there by the football match and the dance, and they follow us go around because we couldn't stop even if we wanted to. We couldn't stop on our dance, which we was not allowed to go dance. And we went, they follow us go around, and when we go around now, so I'd probably about after 2:12 by then, which was unheard of, not allowed. And she was mad as hell when we went in. Wanna come from, and then by the next day, somebody tell her say we and 2 boy they come, so the guy call the neighbor them we follow away. Yeah, them gone back and we go up, and she said she'll send me my mother. Me a third woman, so she'll send me back to my mother. I don't have a relationship with this woman. I was 18. I was almost 18, 17, going on 18. And Laverne was almost 19 by then. Or 19, yeah. Laverne was 19. And I was cooking cause with mommy, every morning. I have to cook mommy breakfast, cook food. She buy a big bunch of banana every week. Yam, saltfish. She loves shad. Salt mackerel. So every morning, because there was this lady that sell food in the market, Miss Taylor. She would buy food from Miss Taylor, but she buy her food and me cook every morning. Even if I have school, I have to wake up early, cook yam, banana, dumpling, whatever food was there, dasheen, and salt fish and callaloo or salt mackerel or shad. And she carry food to the market, or if she leave before the breakfast ready, somebody take the breakfast to her. So that morning I was cooking breakfast because I didn't believe her. Even the night she cussed and I said, I carry guy your mother, Laverne, go back center. I still did not believe her. So it's when daddy come to me now and I was hungry. Finish cook now and ready, so I go eat my breakfast. And daddy come to me and say, you need to get ready. I say, get ready for go where? I say, we're taking it to your mother. That when it dawned on me, it really dawned on me. It resonated that they were serious. Instantly, I was not hungry anymore. And they took me. My mother lived in Old Harbour, in a little shack. Mommy know that I was a little tushy then, that wouldn't live there, so So she did not really want to leave me there. You know. She took me to spite me that when I see the place. Compared to her nice house and what I wouldn't stay there, but I surprised her. Cause when I came out of the car, Daddy drove a car. Look at broad roads at the time. And when I came out of the car and I saw, I used to see my mother occasionally, so I know her. And then I saw my sister also. She was pregnant at the time. And she was living with her. And it dawned on me that just to go to the show, mommy really carried me here. So, see, when after the talk, she and my mother talk, she say, go back in the car. You're not coming back in the car. I said, no, I'm not coming back in the car. She basically did to spite me, so me now go back just to spite her. She started to cry because she didn't really want to carry me there. And I did not go back in the car, so they left, and I spent 6 months with my mother. That is the longest time I can remember. So whatever I know about my mother, that was, that is the time, the 6 months is within that 6 month span. The thing that I can talk about my mother, that is my biological mother, because she even tell me, I call her, she named Mary, and I call her Miss Mary. And she said, why you not call my mama like everybody else? I say, I can't call her mama. It's just strange to call her mama. If you feel offensive, tough, but she just don't feel like a mother to me. And cherry curl was in, and I cut off my hair, because my mother wasn't strict, so cut off my ear and cherry my ear. I cut off everything, cut off all of the cream. So when I went back to look for mommy now, which is my adopted mother, she said, I'm gonna cut off all of my hair. She said, you get what you did want, you cut off your ear. So I just want that change. Jerry, and it grew back, quick. Still, she said she wanted to send me back to school. She come back. I'm saying I go fashion designing school. And that's after 6 months I decided to go back, and she sent me to fashion designing school and graduated and all of that. So she did her best. Well, she's now deceased. She and Daddy died 7 years apart. A few years back. Daddy died Boxing Day